Hi Emily, it's Mr. Goyette again, just going over with you some information from our AP US History course. This is again assignment or Unit 4, Assignment 3. We're going to go over Part 2 and 3. A New World Power. Look on pages, start on page 691 to 701. And then we'll also look at Measuring the Mind, starting on page 704 to 705. We have 9 questions to take a look at. These are all short answer questions, so take notes on these and then submit your notes in lieu of the assignment. Okay, let's begin with the first question. Neutrality, although the United States policy of the first 3 years of the war in Europe was not actually neutral. What were the problems in remaining neutral? Well, Americans' intervention in World War I led to the Allied victory. It was found to be incredibly hard for America to stay neutral after Germany ignored several warnings issued by the U.S. It was Germany's defiance that eventually brought us in, of course, the sinking of the Lusitania and then the Zimmermann Note or Zimmermann Telegram. But you'll note too that the United States was aiding the Allies. If you look on page 697, Freedom of the Seas, other than German U-boats, there were no constraints on trade with the Allies, and the flood of Allied war orders fueled the American economy. England and France bought huge amounts of arms, grain, cotton, and clothing. To finance the purchases, the Allies turned to American bankers for loans. By 1917, loans to Allied governments exceeded $2 billion. Loans to Germany came to only $27 million. So this tells you that it was hard. The United States was not neutral if we really look at how they were aiding what would be our allies in World War I. So that's the problems with remaining neutral and the not actually neutral hint that the question is getting at there. Okay. Several factors prompted the U.S. entry into the war against Germany in 1917. What do you consider the most important reason? Well, let's look first at you have Roosevelt starting to clamor for Wilson to jump into the war, and you have this big public fight going on where half of the citizens are sticking to Wilson's platform of neutrality, and others are saying, no, you got to jump in. And Roosevelt saying, coming back against the I didn't raise my boy to be a soldier with the argument, well, that's like saying I didn't raise my girl to be a mother. It's our duty to get involved in this war. It's a moral cause. Well, let's see what we got into then. The two factors which drove the U.S., of course, thinking Lusitania, and then second, the Zimmermann Note or Zimmermann Telegram. The Zimmermann Telegram is really going to do it because the Zimmermann Telegram basically is Germany trying to convince the Mexican government to join Germany in recovering lands lost during the Mexican-American War and turning against the United States. This is essentially the diplomatic last straw, and of course the kind of a declaration of war against the U.S. The United States has to jump in at this point. Let's look at our last 7 questions. I only have a few seconds left, so let's look at those. So I have, what larger social forces and trends in science led to the development of intelligence testing? From 1870 to 1920, scientists and physicists explored new ideas about the mind. 704. This new interest is what separates those who are intelligent from those who are simply average, spread throughout the world rapidly. Number 2, people were skeptical about these tests when a majority of draftees had a mental age of 12 years and under. So these tests were used to gauge people's intelligence and abilities, and they turned out to be kind of bogus. Number 3, advocates argued that the tests were racially unbiased and that they measured native intelligence. Page 705, read closer there. And then look at number 6. Positive results of the intelligence tests include that many people were allowed to be high-ranking officers in the Army. Negative results included the fact that the tests were racially biased and determined by a majority of draftees. Read carefully on page 705 and 706 for the rest of that, and thank you for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye now.